to let him know that's got to stop.
Hey, go here!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
On 2nd down, Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Just beating the play clock. Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Here we go. 21. 11. Hey, Red. Go here.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. He hits Jermaine Kearse. Touchdown, Detroit. Jermaine Kearse, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are going to take a 1st quarter lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Uses the spin. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Flush to his right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
From the 50, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there for the Panthers. 46 yards. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got it first and goal at the 6. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Keith Marshall, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
All right, here we go, here we go. Something right.
They pitch it out to Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 more yards there and another first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here.
Let's go now, let's go. Like 7. 11, 11. Double, 10. Go here.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Here we go. 21. Set, 60. Zebra. Double right. 10. Go here.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And onto the field here come the Panthers. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Set. 180.
They fake the give. Newton. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Mike Daniels with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Lions. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On first down, it's Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
22. Double. Double right. 8.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Dumping it off for Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Operating from the gun, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more from Charlotte after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Kyle Van Noy coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, Newton looking deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off play action, Newton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
On first down, Stafford here. Caught on the right side by Jones. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Stafford on first down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. Still going. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Stafford now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's first and 10.
32. Like middle. 21.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. That is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Zebra. Hey, 22. Jumbo. Say, go here.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
10. Hey,
To the air again, Stafford. He's got Curse. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Zebra. Set. Lady. 21. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Hey, check. Ready.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Being chased out, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half.
Here we go.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Jumbo. Set. Lady. Zebra.
Throwing is Stafford. And he fends him off. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, here's Stafford. Complete to Jones. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Stafford now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Set. Lady. Go here.
Operating from the gun, Stafford completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Again, it's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
Let's go.
But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A final shot before the break. Newton. Quick hitch, complete. It's Bird. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee you he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Like 7. Tag 54. Tag 50. Tag 50.
And they start the second half with Johnson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Four down. Check. Four down. Go, check. Zero. Here we go. Double right. Check. Hey, take 2. 2 of those 3. 2. Go here.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Hey, go here. Hey, give me radar. Hey, go here. Ready.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
I get it.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Strickland. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up here about the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
So, hey. Express.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now a handoff, Johnson. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Felt me get a little jangly up there before that last play call. And then once it happened, I was like, oh, because it feels like almost a missed golden opportunity to take a shot in that position.
You think 1st and 5, maybe you go for a little more than a short run?
Almost a free down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go now, let's go. Light. 22! 22! Jumbo! Hey!
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford, complete outright to Kurz. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
0! 32! 21! Rocket! Hey!
Now Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And we're back now in Charlotte. They go to Johnson again. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
Well, if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Newton now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They fake the give. Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for Carolina. 61 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
They'll try to run it in with Marshall. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Newton now to throw. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a 1-score game. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, it's Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
22! 11-11!
Out of the gun, Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Come on now. Great. Do something.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Newton. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. After the interception, here's Stafford. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it.
Go here. 22.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down. Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And that's incomplete.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. It's Strickland. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Now Newton on 1st down. Now in desperation, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quandre Diggs, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Stafford going to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Panthers coming out now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bird. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
20.
From the 50, Newton. And his throw is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 12. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Jumbo! Block it! Hey, go here!
Throwing here, Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road